Today we're making this popsicle sculpture. Look how big this is. It is made using paper and newspaper, and it even has a fun bite and some nice dripping icing or topping of our popsicle. To make this popsicle, you're going to follow along with me step by step. Remember to pause every time that you need to, and don't be afraid to go back and re-watch a step if you need to as well. Let's get started. To make our popsicle sculpture, you need 2 large pieces of whatever the main color of your popsicle is. Then you need 1 piece of your icing or kind of drippy top color. So that's my pink one. And then you're also going to need a small piece of brown for your popsicle stick. We're going to start with the main part of our popsicle. We want to make this as big as possible. So I put it going up and down in front of me. And I'm going to start with the top of the popsicle. The bottom of our popsicle is going to be straight, like a rectangle shape, but the top is curved. So all I need to do is add a curve at the top. So take your pencil, put it down a little bit from the top corner, and we're just going to curve across the top. Like that. Then you're going to cut it out. Now at this point, if you want to, you can also add a bite in your popsicle. So to add your bite, you can go to the top, and we're going to just do a bumpy line and a curve. So I'm going bump, 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 bump. And then of course I'm going to cut that too. Next, lay your popsicle on top of the other page and line up the bottom and side edges. I like to give my paper a little tap to make sure it's lined up. You're going to trace the top. So I'm tracing that curve and tracing the bite. We want these 2 pieces to match as closely as possible. So take your time tracing, and when you're cutting, try to cut exactly on that line the best that you can. Next, we're going to create our icing, or the drippy part of our popsicle. So I'm going to take just one part of my main part of my popsicle, and I'm going to lay it onto the pink paper, or whichever color you chose for this part. And then I'm going to trace the top again. Just the top, because the side and bottom edge are lined up nice and straight. There we go. And then you can move this away. Grab it. Move it away, and we're going to make our drippy line going across this top part. So I'm starting below the bite on the edge. Your drippy line can be really big and simple. It could be a little bit smaller, but I'm just going to curve down, up, down into a nice big drip, kind of like a raindrop, up and down across, like that. Go ahead and cut this whole piece out. Once you're done cutting, we're going to use our glue sticks to glue our drippy part onto the top of our popsicle. As always, when we're using a glue stick, the most important part is putting the glue on the edges. We do not want those edges to ever come up, so I wiggle my glue back and forth around the edges, making sure that there is lots of glue so that it doesn't pop off of my popsicle. Definitely don't want my icing to fall off. And then of course I can do a little scribble in the middle. Carefully line it up. And smooth it down. Next, let's make our popsicle stick. So we're actually only going to make 1 popsicle stick because there's not going to be any stuffing inside of it. But we're going to lay our popsicle piece down, and my brown piece of paper is going to go slightly underneath my popsicle here. So this is going to be my popsicle stick, and I can make a tall, skinny U shape to create it. Like that. Then I simply cut it out and I'm going to glue it. So I'm going to put glue along the top. Put lots of glue and then lay your popsicle over it. Rub it down. Awesome. Once you are done with these steps, you're going to bring both of your popsicle pieces up to me, line them up, and I'm going to staple about halfway around your popsicle. Now I have a hole right here. I'm going to open that up with my hands first, and we're going to stuff that with newspaper. You're going to take your paper, loosely crinkle it, and gently put it inside of your popsicle. We always stuff to the furthest side first. Do not push it hard against the edges. If you do that, it's going to make the sides pop open. So if you see them all popping open, that means you're pushing it too far or you are using too much newspaper. So that was one piece. I'm probably going to fit one more inside of my popsicle. Once you have about 2 pieces in there, you're going to bring your popsicle back up to me and I will staple it the rest of the way shut. Then you are finished. When you're all done with your popsicle, be sure to turn it in on Schoology so that I can see it. I hope you had fun making this today.